Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Nicole and this is Slow Stitching Saturday, and today we are working on the Birdsville cushion again. So let's get started. Good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while we do a little bit of wool felt applique. As I said, today we are working on the Birdsville cushion again. We're going to put some more leaves down. I'm still waiting on my floss to come. You know, it'll get here when it gets here. I'm expecting it probably next week or the week after, but if you are new here, welcome. We are working on this particular project until it's finished, but there has been some slight changes that are afoot for Slow Stitching Saturday. So you might see this again in a couple of weeks. So yeah, if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any future uploads. Anything that I'm using today you will find in the links in the show notes underneath this video. Those are affiliate links, and if you shop from them I get a small commission, and I thank you very much if you do shop from them, because that helps me to support the channel and keep great content like this coming to you. Don't forget, while you're there, also give me a thumbs up, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me yet again for another week of wool applique. All right, as I said, we are waiting on some brown floss. I've tracked it. It'll probably be here within the next couple of weeks, I'd say. I didn't order it until a couple of weeks ago, so I didn't realize I was out of it. So yeah, it's going to take a little while because it's coming from overseas. It'll get here when it gets here. You know how it is when you're in Australia. Everything takes a month of Sundays to get to us, so we're a patient people. So anyway, I thought we will continue putting some leaves down. I haven't cut anything more out this week. I've been super busy getting stuff prepped for the magazine and whatnot, so that always slows me up a little bit because, you know, I've got to concentrate on either stitching or actually doing layout or helping designers get their stuff ready to put into the magazine. So my time gets monopolized a little bit 2 weeks out from the magazine. It gets released on the 15th of February if everything goes to plan. Sometimes we have been late once before because of technical difficulties, but everything has been going very smoothly so far, and we are on schedule, which is a good thing. I'm not chasing anybody. I'm not looking for stuff. We are on schedule. All right. So one thing I did want to show you, I was going through my stash the other day and I didn't realize, but I had some hand-dyed wool felt here. So these are some of the colors that I had. I think I was going to, that one's beautiful. Love it. I think I was going to use these for a Christmas thing years and years ago, and I forgot that I had them. They were sitting right in the back of my cupboard. So I didn't think I had a stash of wool felt, but apparently I do. So yeah, so I've got those. I couldn't find any other colors. There was just this one. Many years ago I actually used to sell wool felt for quilting and stuff like that. So but this must have been one of the packets that were damaged, and I've just put it into my stash, and it was in the back of the cupboard. So there's some nice little colors there, so I thought I'd share that with you today. I really like the look of these. I might end up using them for something, maybe a candle rug or something like that. We'll see how we go. I might incorporate them into a project for you guys. All right, so as I said, we're just going to keep working on this. I'm just going to put the leaves down basically, just start scattering them around places where I can. All this side of the tree is stitched down. I've only got really this I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections to do in the quilt. Let me just move that out of the way. So of the pillow. So I've only got this section to stitch down with back stitch. Oops, sorry about that. I've just turned my light off. It's a touch light, so as soon as I touch it, it's on the highest level. So as soon as I touch it, it switches off. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, so basically that's all we're going to do today. Have a bit of a chit chat, bit of a whip and chat. So grab your coffee, grab a craft of your choice. Hopefully you're doing some wool felt applique. I know a couple of people are actually doing this, which is super exciting. And yeah, let's get some leaves down, shall we? All right, so the colors that I'm using to put adhere the leaves down. Now I haven't got my really bright ones done yet. I've still got to stitch them down, and I'm going to slowly do them over the next week or so. So I'm just going to set them aside for now. The color that I am waiting for is 898 for the tree. So that will get here when it gets here. And the colours that I'm using are CXC colours, threads that I'm using. I really like the CXC threads for the wool applique. It's a little bit thicker than DMC, and it travels very well. I don't have problems with knotting or anything like that. So for these ones here, I'm using 581. For the dark ones, I'm using 895. And for the red ones, I'm using 304. We are actually doing a whip stitch to put all these down, and these are the ones that we did last week. I continued on after I finished filming. I only had 3 or 4 to do, so I continued putting those on. Alright, so let's get our leaves, shall we, and start laying them out. I will find my pins, and I have my applique pins somewhere. Where did I put those? I just had them in my hand and I've put them down somewhere. Always the way. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I found them. Here they are. I've got a little magnet in them too, so they don't go everywhere. Alright, let's get our leaves and start laying them down, shall we? So what has everybody been up to this week? I have had a pretty busy week. I've been busy filming, I've been busy editing, I've been busy doing magazine stuff. It's been incredibly hot in some parts of the country. In other parts of the country, they're having snow. I have drunk so much water today. It is so hot. It's so humid. Whew, it's a hot one. Alright, so we are just using this as a rough guideline. There is no actual layout pattern with this. It's just giving you the embroidery that you need to do and the shapes that you need to cut. Other than that, we're just using the picture here on the front. So I am endeavoring to lay them out as best as I can. We have like little round bits that have got to go onto the end, and I've noticed that this one here is probably a little bit too close to the edge, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I am actually just going to mark this now where I'm going to sit the circle, and I'm probably going to cover the top of that because otherwise it's going to be too close. So I want my circle to be here. This is just a cushion, so I only need a small amount on the side for it. That's fine. It just came over a little bit too far and I didn't realize when I was doing it. So I'm just going to make a mark to know that my circle has to come back here. That's where I'm going to start my circle. Okay, so my branch is going to end about there. Okay, so that is just a guideline for me. So just be a bit aware of that when you do place your tree down, how much fabric you've got on either side. Now, I got a kit, so everything was supplied for me. So I am just working with what I've got. And that, you know, can be a little bit tricky at times. All right, there is my little needle minder, and that is from the lovely Gail. Got some counting pins there as well. If you're looking for this, I think I've mentioned this before, I will link this up down below. This is a free pattern on the channel, and basically I just took you on a journey of me making something, just pulling it out of my head and what I wanted and how it turned out. So yeah, and you can make one too. All right, now let me see. As you can see, I'm not very organized today. I think the heat, it just really does a number on me at times. Alright, so with that mark there in mind of where that circle's going to go, I'm going to place that one there and this one here. Now I've got plenty of felt and everything left in this kit, so if I need to cut more out, and I got my kit from Just Patchwork here in Australia. I am not 100% sure if they actually send out overseas for those overseas viewers, so you will just have to contact them and find out. They are lovely people to deal with. You will not have any issues whatsoever. Just give them a call, see what they got to say. That's pretty much all I can tell you. I've still got some brown left, so if I need to add an extra branch or anything like that in, I can. This branch sort of is going up a little bit further than I expected, but that's okay. We can add some more leaves in. I can possibly put another bird in if there's a gap there. But I'm just going to focus on this branch here today. And for the most part, I might even be able to get some over here. Most of them are lime green, so I'm just going to put these ones down. And then we might have to do a little bit of fly stitch for the lime green ones and get them down as well. Alright, and these applique pins are listed up down below as well. They are great. They're not super sharp, but they hold everything in place. and they're just little ones as well, because we're dealing with lots of little pieces here. So you can see there that they're quite tiny. They're only a little pin, but they're perfect for applique. They're not super sharp either. I can't use them when I'm patchworking. They won't go through 2 layers of fabric. Not without some effort. Alright, so that's that one. Do we have any more on top here? No, we've got a bird that's sitting there. So we might just move this one down just a touch. Okay, and then we have a bird just sitting here, just on that bough there. Alright, so you can see there, that's where I'm working this area here. Alright, so let's put the pin on, the lid on the pins before they end up going everywhere, and put them over there. Put my pencil away. And we will get our first thread, which is a dark green thread. And I don't mind threading my needles more often than not, so I just use a smaller thread and I just double it over and do what I can, pop a knot in it, and yeah, go from there. Okay, and I'll just start on the point like I did last week. I found that easier to start on that point, so I'll come up in that point, and let me just lock that screen so it doesn't go blurry, and then go down. Got to remind me to do this, guys. And we're just going to do a whip stitch, so we just come up and we go down, and then I go down underneath where I came out, and then I'll just come up beside it, and that'll hold it down. So you can see there, just get us a little whip stitch on the edge. Alright, we can set some of this stuff out of the way now. Put my threads and everything over there, and we can turn this so it's a little bit easier for me to stitch it. So I'm waiting to hear from Savannah. She's got 2 interviews today, so we'll find out how that went. So I'm not too sure what time she's going to get in contact with me. We've had lots of rain here in the last couple of days too, but then again, it has made it very, very hot, whereas, as I said, some places of the country it is actually snowing. There was a massive cold front that came through, and when I looked at I love weather systems and love looking at them on the satellites and stuff like that, and when I looked at the satellite picture, it looked like a nuclear bomb had gone off. It looked like a crater. This cold front that's coming up from the Southern Ocean is just wild. And it just amazes me, you know, like, just tuck that little tail underneath of the light green, and we're just going to whip stitch this down. So you can see they go down pretty quick. It's just that I have a very limited time at the moment. I know that I say that a lot, but I do have a lot going on. I had stuff go out to the pattern testers this week. We've got a couple of little cross stitches have gone out to model stitches as well. So yeah, it's all happening. It's all happening. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you're working on. I'd love to hear what you're working on. I've got my little pin cushion there. I'll just pop that there. Yeah, I don't normally struggle with the heat, but because we've had so much rain here, it has been very humid and it feels very sticky, and I'm not used to that heat. I mean, when I lived down on the Gold Coast I was, but yeah, since not living on the Gold Coast and being near the ocean, I don't have to worry about humidity that much. But oof, it has been very sticky here in Kingaroy, and yeah, we've never really had to worry about that so much. But this year it's just ugh. I think because there is so much moisture in the ground, because we've pretty much rained all of last year. Like we had floods up here a couple of times last year. I had a retreat that was cancelled, and back in this time, or at the end of February last year, and then we had more rain during the winter months. So the ground is very very moist, and you can tell because the all the greenery and the flowers and like the park and everything is just so lush, and has been all for the last 12 months. Normally in winter we don't have greenery, we have a lot of dry dead grass because it is our dry season, whereas summer is our wet season. So yeah, it's been quite interesting, and like even just watching the weather too, like New South Wales has been, it seems like they've been copping a lot of our weather. They've had a lot of rain and flooding and all sorts of stuff too. It's just been a wild ride. Alright, let's just flick this to the back, and we'll just weave that through. Alright, let's slip that off. A little knot in that. Alright. Some more floss. So I'm hoping to get some more stitches in this weekend. Hoping to get some more into Snow Village as well. I'm having one of those moments where I can't thread the needle. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more into Snow Village and all the bits and pieces that I'm working on for the magazine as well. So I've got a busy weekend, and I've got a busy weekend of prepping for tutorials and everything as well. So yeah, it's I'm getting organised, people. I'm getting organised, not chasing my tail as much. It's been good. Makes my life easier if I've got everything set up. So basically what I do is sometimes I will prep for you know, 4 or 5 weeks in advance, and I have little containers, like little fabric baskets and stuff like that I just make up myself, and I generally just put a project in that, and then I just set them in a trolley ready to go, or in a cupboard. But since I've been doing the renos and they've been going very slowly, I've sort of had them on the benches and stuff like that, so I haven't had as many on the go. But I got an idea from my lovely friend up in Townsville, Michelle. She is shells_trails on Instagram. If you want to go and follow her, she is a prolific quilter, and she's constantly putting up blocks, and I call her the block of the month queen. She is my block of the month and designer mystery enabler. She always keeps me on track of everything that's coming out, and when all the stuff is happening, she's brilliant like that. She really does keep me informed and sends me links and to buy, and we have been known to do late night shopping together. She lives in Townsville, and so we don't get to be in the same room very often, but yeah, so basically she always is enabling me. Just thinking about it, I don't think there's one kid in here where she didn't have some say in it. In the last couple of years. We've known each other for quite some time online and whatnot, so yeah. Anyway, What was I saying? I just having to think about. I just looked around and just went, you know what? There's a lot on here that she's enabled me for. So yeah. So the designer mysteries and everything like that. She enabled me for. All right. Let me just finish this off because I've just finished with the green. And I'll go back down. All right. Let me snip that off. Okay. Oh, I don't want to. Have we got another green one to do? No, I'll just go move on to the red. Before we move on to anything else, I'll take this one out. All right, let me pop that over there and we'll grab the red. Alright, so let's get this threaded up. Now, as I was saying, I was prepping for tutorials and stuff like that, but I got this idea from a lovely friend, Michelle, and she uses like scrapbooking containers to store her blocks of the month in and stuff like that, and then they just stack really neatly. So I'm thinking that I'm going to get a couple of them. And she gets them from Kmart and they're like $7 or something. So I got a couple for Mia for her diamond painting because she's got a small 30, I think it's 12-inch 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter diamond painting. So we keep it all in that for her. But yeah, so I'm thinking when next time I'm down seeing Savannah, I'm going to go and grab a heap of those from Kmart, and then I'll have them here and I can prep a lot easier, get things cut up and stored all together, and then I can just stack them. And I've got like little cubby holes underneath my bench where I'm at, and they're not cubby hole, like it's a big cubby hole where my legs go from my chair, but they go deep, they're quite deep, so they're 600 deep, and I don't have to have my chair all the way back, so I can utilize that back section of it and store them there, and they're going to stay dust free, they're going to be all together. So that's what I figured I'd do, and then I can get myself really organized, because at the end of the day it's the prep that takes the longest. It's not the actual making of the tutorial. Well, it's the editing and the prep. So it basically, the things that I need to do prior and after take the longest to do for the videos. The making of it is not that much of an issue. So yeah, so I'm just trying to get myself a little bit more organized this year, and hopefully that will make a difference in my productivity. Plus it means that I can cut and prep a lot of the blocks for the A to Z, because at the moment I'm sort of just doing it as I come up to it, and I'll prep it the weekend before. But I would like to get, you know, a couple of weeks in front, because those prepping days that I use, then that way I can you know, I can just be ahead of the game, and I don't have to, I can, those days that I would normally use to prep, I can spend with my family and stuff like that. So had a bit of a chat to them and whatnot, and you know, if Savannah's here, she'll help me cut stuff out and whatnot, and Neroli is starting back at school, but she is home during the day because they changed the labour laws again, and we've just gone, you know what, we're not going to go through the same rigmarole to get her an exemption to work during the day. She's happy to work at night because she gets to do things during the day. Some of her friends have now left school and whatnot, so she's, you know, socialising a little bit more and whatnot. But she's starting back this coming week. We're getting ready to enroll her into home schooling, but it's a schooling system where she can do it at her own pace, and she works better at night. So I'm fine for her if she wants to sleep all day and get up and go to work and then come home and do her schoolwork, or, you know, sleep until 2 o'clock, do her schoolwork, go to work, come home and finish her schoolwork. If that's how she works better, I'm happy for her to do that. And that's, you know, like, it's better than her sitting there watching TV, right? Like, she's doing something constructive and whatnot. So I can help her for the most part, you know, like she can ask me questions the next day and whatnot, or she can ask me while I'm sitting there doing some stitching and whatnot, and I can help her. but yeah, we just decided we weren't going to do them. But yeah, so getting back to getting everything organized is, I think, is going to be key for me this year, because I've got a lot going on. I'm really starting to ramp things up on the channel. I'm now starting to approach people for giveaways and stuff like that as well, so I'll have to keep you posted about that. Yeah, so lots of different things are happening, and I want to just, if this is one section of my life where I can be super organized, I'm pretty happy with that, because that means it's going to buy me some time. It's going to give me time with my family, give me time with Brendan, because he's super busy with his business as well. In March, I've got to go and help King of Toe for his channel, because he's going to the drag. So on the 3rd and 4th of March, I'm off to the drags with him, and yeah, basically be doing some filming for him and whatnot. So yeah, it's all happening. It doesn't really slow down in our house. It's starting to look really good with the colour on it. I'm really loving it. It's going to be so colourful when it's done. Is that the right way? Yeah. But starting on the points of these leaves is a lot easier than what I was trying to do before. And I know that's not really showing up on camera, but I am going down underneath and just coming up. Like, I'm going down under where I just came up, and that's locking that stitch into place. And it's sort of doing like a blind stitch, but it's whip stitch, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah. And I sort of go on an angle so I can come up next to it, and it goes underneath. I go sort of underneath, like this one here. You could probably see that I haven't gone underneath, but the others I have, and that just hides that stitch a little bit. I know I'm a bit anal about that sort of stuff. I like to have it hidden. I don't care if I do see it, like, I'm not ultra pedantic, but I aim to have it disappear. And that's all that matters to me, really. Yeah, let me take that pin out. We'll start laying some more leaves down as we go. Might go onto the other side of the, hopefully you can see that okay. Like, it looks like you can see it okay. We've also started doing renovations on Savannah's room, so that's going to take a little while. We'll get that sorted. We've picked the colour of the paint. We went down and done that the other day when she was home, so that was nice. Just her and I. Darvanalee was out with a friend, so it was good. It was just us. We've picked out her sofa bed as well, because she wants a sofa bed in there. That way I can use it. It's not just a bedroom. I can use it to film my booktube and stuff in there once it's done. It's running out of floss. I'm not going to make it difficult for myself. Alright, so I've been watching a bit of Harry Potter this week as well. Oh, there was one show that I did start watching with Brendan. It's on Stan. It's called Poker Face. I can't remember the actress's name, but she's in a lot of stuff that I've watched. She's usually in, like, she just looks like a real grub, real rough around the edges, a little bit trailer trash and whatnot. She's got a real husky voice, and I just cannot remember her name, sorry. But yeah, I've been watching that. It's called Poker Face, and basically she's a human lie detector. She can tell when someone's lying, and so it's like a detective sort of thing. Like, she works out like who the murderer is and stuff like that, and it's been quite a good show to watch. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I've just been sitting there doing a little bit of stitching while Brendan and I have been watching it. So yeah, that's on Stan. It's called Poker Face. It's not fully released yet, so there's not all the episodes on there. We're up to where we've got to wait for the episodes now. I'm not sure I'm really liking the fact that I've got to wait for episodes. It's like watching free-to-air TV. Yeah, so we're up to waiting for episodes to come out now. But I did see on Prime the other day that Daisy Jones and the Six is coming out on the 3rd of March, I think it is, on Prime Video. So I'm pretty excited about that too, because I read the book last year. I think I read the book, or the year before. I can't remember now. I've read a lot of books in the last couple of years. But yeah, that's coming out, so I'm pretty excited about that too. I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope it lives up to the hype. Alright, so I've just pinned those back down again because that was getting a little bit unruly. I'm just going to have a drink because it is still really hot. Keep hydrated, people. Gotta keep hydrated. Alright. So it's going to be interesting to be down the drags. I've never, have I? No, I don't think I've ever gone to the drags. I've gone to Speedway and stuff like that. I'm just trying to think if I went when I was a kid. I don't think I did. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that with Brendan. It's just going to be him and I. We've already booked our motel. So we're all booked and ready to go. So that's good. And yeah, so we'll be down there for 2 days. So the 3rd, Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th, I will pre-record anything that needs to be pre-recorded, and that will go up, so floss tube and whatnot. And yeah, you'll be able to, once we've got it all edited and up on his channel, I'll leave a link and you can suss out what we did that weekend. I won't get a chance to go any craft shopping or anything like that. It's all about them that day, so those 2 days, so that's fine. But yeah, it'll be good to go and do some filming for him. It's been a while since I've done filming, because originally I used to do a lot of his filming on a Saturday, and I used to do his live streams and that with him, but when Mia was little. But Savannah used to babysit for us, and then she got a job that meant that she worked on Saturdays, so yeah, so I couldn't do it for him anymore. So he hasn't done any Saturday lives for a while. So, but then I've also got live streams and all that sort of stuff as well. I actually have a live stream happening on Dusty Book Sniffers today at 10 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to watch the replay if you miss it, but if you would like to come over and watch it, it's just a reading sprint, and so we get some reading in. And I do, today's one will be there'll be 3 or 4 30-minute sprints and then a 5-minute chat in between, and we are moving on to the next chapters of, some of us are moving on to the next chapters of the Count of Monte Cristo, so 11 to 20. So if you want to get some reading in and have a little bit of chit-chatting in the live chat, yeah, come over and join us. It's pretty casual, it's pretty relaxed, and what a reading sprint is basically, as I said, it's 30-minute blocks of time where we just hyper-focus on reading. And but you don't have to do reading. You can do productivity, you can do housework. I get onto one girl's reading sprints, and I generally use hers because she does them on a Tuesday, and after I'm done filming, Tuesday is editing day, and she usually goes on around 10 o'clock, and I'm usually done filming by then, so then I'm just editing, and I'll edit a whole, because I film every Monday and Tuesday for both BookTube and also the channel. So I will spend the rest of the time with her, and she does really long reading sprints, like 6 hours. I only go for like 2 hours, if that. And so basically what happens is I will, while she's doing her quiet time, which is like it might be an hour block or whatever, I will try and get as much as I can get edited in that time, and then I'll come back, have a bit of chat. It's like being at work with people, so I thoroughly enjoy it. All right, so this is the one where now this is the one here. Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot more light green happening now, so I'm definitely going to have to get them done this week. And these ones I haven't got stitched down, so we might look over here and see if we can't get some of these ones down here. Worst case scenario is I'll cut more leaves out. There was 72 or 76 that I had to cut out originally, so yeah, so I might work this one here, because I've got all these ones in on that, so I'm going to head over to this side and start getting those down. Alright, so let me just have a look here. We've got a green one there. I wasn't sure at first about this whole the whole upside, like the leaf looking upside down. I wasn't real sure at first, but it's turned out to be okay. I can live with it. It's ridiculous, the things that make you glitch out a bit, doesn't it? Isn't it really? Alright, this one's gonna go there. So the last week I asked a few people like what they wanted to do. Did they, oops, sorry about that, I just moved everything on you. That's how strong these magnets are. I've got, see that, you can see that at the top of the screen. I don't know if you can see it on the top of the screen. That was a gift from a friend, and I'm trying to get it off. It's got all my little, it's got a lot of these little applique pins around it. So I've got my other ones there, but this is a really strong needle minder, and so I just will pop that there, and then I will put that there, and then that's not going to move anywhere. So I'll just tilt it up so you can see there. I just got it sitting there. There we go. Let's get that straight. All right. Yeah, so sorry, just got sidetracked then. All right, now see, like when I look at this, she's had to cut out 4 different colors, but when I look at this, there's only 3 colors on there. I'm right, aren't I? Leave a comment down below. I'm definitely right. There is only 3 colors on there, isn't there, in the leaves? So I could possibly add a couple of these darker, like, so where there's some of these lime green ones are, I can add some of these olive or sagey sort of green ones, because there's one there just like that, because we've got a circle that goes at the end of this one. Let's get some red down. And another red. I feel a little bit uncoordinated at times. Yeah, so worst case scenario is I can always just cut out some more, but I will endeavour to get those pale green ones sorted, and they might be the fill-in ones. Like I might end up using those as the fill-in ones, so yeah. But either way, it's gonna look fabulous. Let me put a pale green one there, and then there's a pale green one over here. That one's there. My noisy neighbours are home. They're just fabulous. They've been quiet, and we actually thought that they might have been told to get out, but obviously not. They've been away. because it's been awfully quiet over there. All right. Oh, it's looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. And this one's just like randomly here. But it is, you know, the weekend, and, you know, we are entitled to let our hair down on the weekend, so who am I to bah humbug on their little parties? I just bah humbug on it when it's like, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning and they've been going since 11 o'clock the day before. I get a bit antsy about it, but it is what it is. I'm right, like, I'm definitely right. Like, I'm just looking at that. There is definitely only 3 colours there, for sure. So I've got 4 colour leaves, so I'm going to have to, and there is a lot of this light green here, and I think maybe it's the camera just hasn't picked it up correctly, like it's made it a little bit, and it's, yeah, because she definitely said to use 4 different colours. So, yeah, I'll just add some greens and stuff, random green ones in. Ooh. And I may have to cut some more because my tree does look slightly bigger than hers. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to add any more leaves in. Like, I'll spread them out as much as I can, and just sort of follow her guideline. And then I'll start, as I said, I'll start adding the circles and whatnot. And just go from there, because I haven't stitched this down yet. I'm sort of avoiding this area. So I'm just working here, I think, is probably the best thing that I can do right now. So we've got that one, that one, that one, and that one. We need another dark green, and we'll pop that there. And I prefer to pin them as opposed to glue them. I think I find them work better because I can move them and adjust them, whereas if I glue them down or use the freezer paper method, they're sort of where they need to be then, and I don't really feel great about that. Like, I'm almost out of red, so there's definitely, and I'm just going off what she's put on here. I've not added any extra, and I've still got all this to do, so I'm definitely going to have to make some more leaves, because I've only got 2 red ones left, and I've still got all this one to here, and there's a lot, although there's not a lot of red through the middle, so I'm probably only going to have to make 10 or 15 more, but that's okay. I'm happy with that, and I'm just following her lead basically in this aspect. So yeah. Let me just have a look. That one's there, that one's there, those 2 are there, and I've got to have a red one over here. I'll pop that in there, and then we've got green. I might actually just put, because I jumped from over here, so I might just put a green over this side where I was stitching. And put that one there. Just spread these greens out a little bit, I think. Sorry, I know that that's off camera, but it's just where I was stitching. I'm just going to put a couple of, because I've got a circle that's got to go in there, and then a couple other leaves. So, yeah. So these ones here just have the circle off it. So I'm just going to move this one back just a touch. And of course the circles are different sizes, so I can move them around. Like, I don't have to have the exact same size where she's got one, but if I have it as close as I can, I think that'd be good. And then if I've got, because there's a couple of light green ones, so I've got a light green there. I don't know, I actually don't think I like that green. What do you think? Leave me a comment down below and tell me. I mean, I don't have the color on it to tone it down a little bit, but I just don't know about that color. I'm not liking it at all. I prefer this, like, you know, because this has got to go in here. Okay, I'll just put them where they've got to go. Okay, and you tell me what you think, even though these don't have the embroidery on them right now. You tell me what you think of. So that one's got, and then we've got one over here. Just want to see. So I've put that one there. That, I prefer this. I honestly prefer this. Just looking at that. What do you reckon? Leave me a comment down below. I'm not going to add them. We're going to wait. But I don't know. I'm just not liking it. I just think that it's, yeah, I don't know. Let me just bring it over where I've got quite a few, like, because that one goes there, that one goes there. I've put that green there instead of the lighter green. Then I've got this green here, and then there's that red, and then there's a green over here. There's another green up here. I don't know. I'm not too sure I like it. I'm sounding whiny now. I don't know. What do you reckon? I just think it looks, I don't know. Leave me a comment down below. Do you think I should add them in? I'm happy to leave them out. In fact, I think I'm just going to make an executive decision and I'm just going to leave them out. I prefer this color palette. Like, even with all the ones that are sewn in over here, I've just added that green one because there was one missing from there. Okay, that green one there, and then let's put some, there's supposed to be one there. There's supposed to be that there, that one there. There's supposed to be one here. I don't know, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So what I might do is I might leave these. I think I'm just going to leave them out. I don't like that green, and I'm going to go with this green, and I'm going to do extras of this green here and some more reds and some more dark greens to make up for the ones that I'm taking out. But I would really like your feedback down below. If you could leave me a comment underneath this video in the comments, tell me what you think. Should I put we'll call it lime green. So just put yes or no for the lime green. I'm thinking no, but I'm open to suggestions. It could be just because I've been working with these colors and that's where I'm at right now. And oops, sorry about bumping the camera then. Yeah, so just let me know what you think. But I'm thinking not. But as I said, I would really appreciate your feedback. I do like that. I'm partial to red, so red's always going to be my go-to color. Like, I love red quilts, I love red and white quilts and stuff like that, so I'm always a bit partial to red. But I would prefer to have this green in than that light green, just saying. But, you know, you guys are looking at it too. You're seeing it on the camera. I'm looking at this quite closely and quite regularly. You might have a different opinion, and I would really appreciate your opinion, because that's what I like about doing this sort of stuff, is because you guys give me your opinion and then it makes me see things in a different way. But to be honest, even when I look at this picture, I don't like that green on there. And I think that's why I've struggled. That's why they've not been stitched, because I don't like that green. You know, if it was maybe another green, maybe a deeper olive, maybe like a little bit, a shade between these two, I would, you know, like a grassy green, maybe. I don't know. I think that might work a little bit better. Anyway. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what I should do. Do you think I should just run with the light green, or should I just leave it out and add more red? Now, I've got more red felt here. I've got stuff left over, and I can always send a message to Just Patchwork and say, hey, I need this color, and this color. I can also send them pictures via email as well, so they know what colors I'm talking about. And I don't really care if it's a slightly different green that they send me, or a slightly different red. That's not going to make a difference, because, you know, it'll just mix it up a bit. But yeah, if you leave me a comment down below, I will know before I work on this again what our movements are on it. So as I said, I'd really like your feedback on this. So lime green, yes or no. So you can just put lime green no, lime green yes. Do a vote, and whatever wins that's what I'll do. Okay. Now last week I asked about rotating through my projects and stuff like that. I have had a few people say yes, they would really like me to rotate through the project, so I am going to endeavor to do that. So I've got a couple of little projects on the go. I've still got my sashiko on the go. I've still got the English paper piecing one on the go. I've got a couple of embroideries that I should get some stitches into as well. One of them was actually a free one that I had for crafting with Dee, so I haven't finished that yet, so I should really get on top of that and get that finished. And that's a free pattern for you guys, so you guys can do that as well. I've just got to go through and, as I said, get a little bit more organized with I've got trolleys for my whips and stuff like that, my major whips, so like the EPP stuff and this sort of stuff. Yeah, so I can get a little bit more organized with some of the other projects that I've got and get them onto the whip trolley as well. So yeah. Who saw the live stream on Thursday? What a schmozzle that was. Oh my goodness. I had, to begin with, I had technical difficulties with the internet. The internet, I don't know what was going on there, but I was coming across in the first, because I had to go stop that stream. It was that bad. It was that blurry. People couldn't hear me. The timing was out, like the lag was really bad. I was blurry. And so 10 minutes in, I ended the stream because it just didn't come good at all. So I ended the stream, and then just had a shocker of a day. I broke a needle in my sewing machine. I twisted my blocks around the wrong way. I had to unpick a couple of times. It was full on. Like, it was absolutely everything that could go wrong in a live stream went wrong. But I ended up recovering. I ended up getting 2 blocks done, and then after I finished the live stream, I sat down, I had a drink, took 5 minutes, collected my thoughts, got up and finished off my day's work, and I ended up finishing off the other 4 blocks that I had to do for that week. So I am up to date. I did not let that fabric beat me. I did not let that live stream dishearten me. Like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like, I have never had a live stream like that, but yeah, it was just one of those days. I had a late night the night before. I didn't sleep very well, and I was tired, and it was quite evident. But if we can't laugh at ourselves, it was hilarious. It really was. But good times were still had, and everybody was so encouraging and so supportive, and just kept going. It's all good. Just keep going. And and I recovered pretty well, even if I say so myself. Like, I didn't get upset. I didn't get flustered. I just kept going. It's just real life, and it just shows everybody that, hey, I'm just like you guys. I make mistakes. I don't do things 100% accurate all the time. It's just, it is what it is, and that's life. Like, it's real life, people. That's what happens. Things go wrong, things go awry, and it's just like, I sat down and Lee heard that I finished, and so she came out and she's like, how'd you go? And I'm like, oh my god, go and watch it. And she didn't, but then I explained to her what happened. She's like, oh my god, if everything that could go wrong went wrong. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. And it was comical. It really was. You'd have to admit that. All right, I've lost me floss. Oh, here it is. I knew I had it somewhere. It was very comical, I think. I thought it was hilarious. Like, even when I spoke to my husband, I'm like, he goes, how'd your live stream go? I'm like, don't even ask. He goes, yeah, I've had days like that too. Because as soon as you turn the camera on, you know you shouldn't have gone live. But I made a commitment to do this quilt, and I'm turning up every week to do it. And yeah, so and that's what I'm doing, and I'm actually enjoying it, because I'm getting, like, even with everything that went wrong on Thursday, it was fine, because I still made progress on the quilt. I still managed to be up to date. Like this weekend I've got a lot of prep for that to do. There's a lot of fabric I've got to cut for the sashing and joining of the blocks together and stuff like that. So I'm going to get that all sorted, because I won't have time during the week to do that, because it's Bedlam week this week for the magazine. So everything is, I'm pretty much in front of the computer every day sorting that out. Getting it all compiled, and then the layout, and doing final checks, getting it off to the proofreader, all that sort of stuff, then re-editing and all the things. So yeah, so I'm planning on doing a lot of prepping this weekend, because I need to, basically, otherwise I will fall behind. Excuse me. Alright, let me just turn this. Yeah, I was going to use those little thimble dots, but I don't even actually really come close to my finger when I'm doing this. So, yeah, I might just save that for another time, I think. Maybe when I'm doing English paper piecing, because I tend to stab myself a bit. Oh, take that out. What do you think, guys? It's looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'll be happy when the rest of that floss comes and then that's all stitched down, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. All right, well, I've been on for almost an hour now, just chit-chatting and all the rest of it. We've got some decisions to make about whether we're going to add these lime green ones in. I just don't think that they go. I just don't think that it's right for this piece. So what I would like you to do, as I said, in the comments down below, just tell me yes for the lime green or no for the lime green, and we can make a decision together. I would really appreciate that, and I will keep stitching this one down, and then I will get on with some cutting out of fabric and whatnot. But if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you being here. Don't forget, if you are new here and you've yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any future posts. And while you're there, give it a thumbs up and maybe share this video with some of your friends on social media. But that is it from me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Happy crafting, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.